Greetings, this is the Timeshare Traveler. Today is episode 130, extending a trip with timeshares. So on an overview, I'm going to do an extension. I did an extension. In fact, I'm just about to go on that extension in about 2 days. So I'll go through the one I did, and then I'll back up and how I extended the trip and just sort of give you the guidelines for it. And then the leverage, the last minute availability. I leveraged hotels that I had points for, and then I was just persistent. So again, then I'll talk about the benefits of free hotel points, the benefits of hotel status, and how that plays into all of expanding your vacation. So I'm really lucky. I wanted to do a vacation, so extend my vacation and go to another island. I'm in Hawaii, so I did that. Before I go into the details, I'll tell you a little bit about my channel. Hang in there. I'll be right back.
Hi, this is Cliff, and I'm the Timeshare Traveler. Welcome to my channel. The purpose of my channel is to educate those who love traveling in timeshares. I've been an owner for 15 plus years at timeshare ownership. I have elite ownership with Marriott, Hilton, and WorldMark. I have published over 100 timeshare video reviews, and I've published over 95 timeshare tips. I can be found on Facebook at Timeshare Trav, at Twitter, Timeshare Trav, and on the web at www.timesharetraveler.com.
Okay, here's the extension that I did. I extended my Hawaii vacation by 5 days, and I wanted to go to another island, so I wanted to book timeshares there. What I did is I initially booked all the hotel that I needed. That way I could book the flight, and then I knew that could be taken care of, so there weren't any expensive air charges or anything like that. Then I eventually booked 3 nights in a timeshare, booked the 2 nights in a hotel. Then I kept checking back. I added a 4th night to that and continued to check timeshares, and then finally, about 2 days ago, I got the last day in a timeshare because I could stay in the hotel, that's be fine, but I'd rather use the timeshares. And then that was the extension I did, and then I finally canceled the hotel. So I ended up with 1 night at a WorldMark Kona and 4 nights at the Hilton's Kingsland on the Big Island. Okay, now I'm going to go through how to extend your trip, and this is more the general. I gave you this very specific one that I did, but really it's look at last minute availability. People cancel trips usually 30 days or 60 days out from time to time. You just have to be aware of that. And you can book these kind of like holes. It's kind of like doing that. And there are limits, like Hilton, you have to have 3 days. WorldMark, if it's not a weekend, you can book 1 day, which is how I was able to get what I wanted. So I'm just looking for those slots that as things cancel out, can I grab a block of rooms to make that work? And book hotels to fill the gap. Leverage your hotel points if there's a gap. And again, I always, when I do my presentations, I like to always take hotel points, and this was a big deal. Even though I ended up not using them, the hotel points, I was able to book it knowing I could then do the trip, and then it was just a matter of how it was going to actually end up at the end of the day. And again, persistency. Check back every day, see if someone is canceled or see if there's something new is available. And that's kind of the basic guidelines that I wanted to provide before that. Now I'm going to talk about the last minute availability. All timeshares have cancellations. People's plans change, and typically within a 60-day window they get canceled, or a 30-day window, and that way they get to keep the points. So it's worth checking in on that. The other thing to note is I found in desirable areas that have a shortage of places, the hotel prices get more expensive as you get close to, so doing last minute can often be more expensive. But with timeshare, it's still the same points. So in my experience, I'm not saying you don't get specials at the very last minute in hotels, but that's generally like at a Las Vegas or in Orlando where there's excess hotel capacity. And the other thing is not every room is used all the time. Usually there can be little gaps because somebody booked a vacation here and there's a couple-day gap, and somebody booked a vacation there, so sometimes there's some gaps, so you can take advantage of that. There are often 3 nights available within 60 days. I find that to be the case. It may not be the exact room you're looking for, but it can be something that you can make work. And again, check back every day and look at close by locations. So in my case, because I picked the Big Island, I ended up with Hilton because they have 4 properties all very close together. And so then it was just a matter of finding that one day that I was missing, and I was able to get that through another timeshare that I own. So that's how you manage the last minute availability. And then look at book hotels to fill the gap. I mean, in other words, you could start out just book the hotel and then see what you can do as far as timeshares. Particularly, again, I always do the points when I do the presentations. And then that usually the thing that can be really expensive when you're making changes is the airfare. So the quicker you can sort of block that time to know you can, worst case scenario, which is not a bad case, is that you're staying in a hotel. And then you can start adding your timeshares once you've booked it, got the airfare taken care of. And in my case, like I said, I got every night, so that worked out. But staying at a hotel one night would have been okay, or 2 nights. That's not the worst. I'm in Hawaii, so it's not the end of the deal and the end of the world if that were to happen. And this is where the timeshare traveler's persistence is a plus. I check Hilton, Marriott, and WorldMark every day for big island options. There's a lot more on the WorldMark and the Hilton, but there was the one Marriott that's there. Got the first 3 days of King's Land, added a 4th day, and then WorldMark Kona became available 4 days before my departure, which was 2 days ago, and I'm leaving in 2 days. So that's, again, just persistency, and you've already got the hotel, so you're not going to go. So it's just a matter of trying to upgrade yourself to have kitchens and so forth. The next thing I want to bring up is the benefit of free hotel points. It's always great to have free nights available. I always take points when I do a presentation so that I have these points for just this situation. This is pretty exciting to be able to do this. Things freed up and made sense, so I was able to do that. I always have the hotel credit cards associated with the timeshare in the hotel, so that way, just my regular spending, I end up earning extra points that way. And I use my hotel cards just for groceries and everything. So it's just fundamental blocking, tackling. If you're going to invest in the timeshare, invest in the hotel as far as credit cards and so forth, and get those points whenever you do the sales updates. The last point I wanted to make was the benefit of hotel status, and I've got Hilton and Marriott. In the case of Hilton, if you have diamond status, that allows you a 48-hour guarantee, and that's great. Even a last-minute stay, if it's in 48 hours, I can book a hotel. And sometimes you can book a hotel that has even mini kitchens, like a Homewood Suites, so you can effectively have what I call timeshare light. And again, if you are a Premier Plus, you have a diamond, or if you have the Aspire card holders also get that. Marriott, you need to be presidential level to get the same thing, and titanium or have titanium status through stays. I don't think there's a way with their credit cards. I think the best you can get is platinum, even with a top end. Or actually, I think you only get gold. So the only way really with the Marriott is to do titanium status, to have a lot of stays, or have a president level in the timeshares. Hope you like this way to extend your vacations. Nothing wrong with doing that. Please give it a like, and don't forget to subscribe.